Hi, my name is Angel Jimenez and I'm taking FTT 114 TAC 10824 Custom Kydex Lab, Week 2 Practical Application. So with my Week 2, I'm going to be going over the materials that are needed to create a Kydex press. So in front of me I have a set of safety glasses. So if you needed to cut your pieces, you need to have some safety glasses. And then if you had to sand the edges or anything, a dust mask as well. Pencil to mark my areas for my hinges, for my screws are going to be going into, and then tracing out a template of the hinge as well. I have a 3/4 inch screws, 3-inch screws, 2 hinges, a 2x4 cut down to 8 inches. I ripped a 3/4 inch sheet of plywood, and the 3 pieces that I have, the first one is a 4x8 inch, a 12x8, and a 16x8 inch in length. And these are going to be your components used for your press. I didn't get any spray adhesive, so I'm going to try using some Velcro strips, some double-sided Velcro strips, to see about securing my foam pads to the base and to the lid, to see if that works and how long it works. Because I didn't really want to secure my foam pads to the base and to the lid, because I wanted to put them on top of my toaster oven to warm them up, so that way when I put my Kydex, it wasn't a cold piece of foam. At least it was warm enough so that it doesn't drop my temperature right away. All right, so moving on along, I have some washers as well, just in case I have to put a washer either on the nuts head side or on the bolt side. I have a 7/16 wrench and a ratchet with a 7/16 socket. I have a drill, impact drill. I have some drill bits. I have 1/4 inch in diameter by 1 inch in length bolts, lock washers, and the nuts. I have a square. I have the thermal foam, 2 pieces that was provided by the school. I have some wood glue. I'm going to pause you guys for a second, and then I'll come right back once I clear up some of this workspace. Okay, so I cleared up some of my workspace area. So my next step, excuse me, I'm recording with one hand. Sorry about that. So my next step is I'm going to take this 2x4, sprinkle some of this wood glue on it, flip it over onto to my edge here, flip it over, and then I'm going to put some drill some pilot holes, then put some screws in. All right, so let me get this set up. Okay. Let me see if I can get a stand. One second. I'm going to pause you guys. Okay, a little bit better. I'm going to be working from behind my my camera, so forgive me. So I drizzle some of this wood glue on here. I'm flipping it over, lining it up. Then using the other 2 pieces of, that I'm going to be using for my build, using it as a tabletop. And I'm going to take my drill and do pilot holes. And I'm making sure that I'm squared edge to edge. All right. Okay, sorry about that. I had to get some screws to fit. So now I drilled an extra pilot hole off camera. So I'm gonna screw this in. Excuse me for the loud noise of my drill, if it sounds really loud. I'm making sure I'm still being squared. Okay, let's get this one in. And I'll put a third one just in case for extra stability. And I also forgot to mention earlier on when I was showing my materials, I purchased these blocks so that I can glue them on and put them at the base so that it gives me a little gap between the bottom of my base and my workbench or my table so that I can get the clamps on. All right, I'll flip that around. Then I'm gonna take my top piece and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna squaring this off. I'm gonna put some glue on here again, and then I'm gonna screw this in as well. All right. Making sure that's on there. Get my drill. Excuse the noise outside. I'm in my garage and I have my garage open. Trying to let some of the air in. One second. All right, so I'm back. I'm sorry. I was trying to wait for the neighbor's van to stop beeping. And I went ahead and I drilled this hole by accident. I was supposed to put my hinge, keeping a 1/8 inch gap, marking my holes. And then marking my outer perimeter of the hinge so I know that I'm putting it in the same spot. And I think I might have gotten or purchased too big of a hinge. Alright, so mark my circles on my holes, and then I'm going to do a pilot hole on these spots and then put a screw in just to hold it in place, and then mark and test fit my if the flap opens and closes freely. All right. I'll run this drill bit real fast. Put a Torx tip in here. All right. making sure that I'm lining it up. Okay. All right, I'm gonna keep it right there. Let's get the other one. Getting it started. All right. Okay, so off camera I drilled these holes for the hinge, and then I inserted the bolts. So now I'm gonna fit them on as such. Take a lock washer and a nut, and just get it started by hand. All right, 1 second. All right, then I'm gonna take my wrench and my ratchet and get it started. All right. Let me pause it for a second and get this started, and then I'll bring you guys right back. All right, so I got these two nuts on, and we have the clearance that we needed. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna drill these other two holes, and then I'm gonna insert those nuts and bolts, and then I'll bring you back to dry fitting the thermofoam. Okay, so here is the finished project as without the foam so far. So I have the bolts with the lock washers installed and tightened. I tightened up the rear screws on the aft end of the hinge. Then I went as far on off camera adding the footing so I can have some spacing in between for the clamps. But as you can see, my 2x4 is not quite 2x4. It's a little bit shorter than what I was told it was. So I'm gonna make do what I have, and we'll make it work. So on the Kydex thermofoam, there's two different sides on the pads. So you have a smooth side, and then you have like a rough side. I don't know if you can tell. So the smooth side is what's gonna go facing in from the bottom of the base. It's going to face up, and then the top of the lid, the smooth, is going to be facing the base. And that's because the way the Kydex forms on it, you want it to have it as smooth as possible, so when you press your Kydex, it doesn't have all that that roughness to your Kydex. You want to have a smooth surface once it's formed. So I cut some Velcro strips, and I'm going to try to make it work. And if it doesn't, then I'll go and invest on some spray adhesive, because I'm fresh out. So I'm pulling the backings off of the Velcro. And I'm going to stick it on here. All right, so get rid of that. All right. So I'm gonna pause you, and I'll bring it back once I get all four put on, velcroed onto the base and on the lid. Okay, so there's the finished project with the thermofoam inside. I'm gonna try to put the clamps on it right now to see how tight I can get it, and then we'll test it out once we do the Kydex. And if it's not working, if it's not forming the lines that I want from my Kydex, then I might redo this press at a later date. So I'm gonna try to install the clamps. So I got one there. And putting those footing underneath helped out a lot. So do a little at a time so that it presses evenly. So yeah, it looks like it's doing well. All right, now the test will be once I put the pistol in with the hot Kydex, and once I press it down to form the holster, we'll see what it looks like. All right, thank you.